we're here at the Pentagon parking lot. Yes, the Pentagon. And we're here for a great event. Because what it's doing is teaching new riders motorcycle safety. We're encouraging these guys, hey, if you're gonna go out and buy a motorcycle, or if you're new to motorcycling, even if you're an experienced rider, let's go take a motorcycle safety course.
What my thought was in putting this event together initially was to look at all of those soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard personnel here in the National Capital Region around Washington, D.C., and there's a whole lot of them. There's tens of thousands of them, many of whom ride motorcycles, and so the thought was to bring them together here at the Pentagon, for a safety event where they could be involved in increased awareness with regard to the risks associated with riding, training, and educational opportunities. So first and foremost, to enhance the safety of our riders. The second important thing at the time was to demonstrate leadership with regard to motorcycle safety, to demonstrate that we here at the Pentagon, the corporate headquarters for the military, understand how important motorcycle safety is. And so we want to demonstrate that commitment by putting on a world-class event here at the Pentagon that we could then share with others throughout the field and hopefully emulate at different installations and facilities around the world.
It wasn't just a couple of years ago that there were more military personnel were dying on motorcycles than they were in combat in Iraq and Afghanistan and all the other places that we are. So this has been a huge, huge issue since we started doing military training about 4 years ago. And for the Marines, we developed a program called the Advanced Motorcycle Operator School. I was really, really proud to be able to announce today that after graduating just over 700 riders, that none of them have had any serious mishaps of any kind over this whole 4-year period. So this was really big, and it's our contribution to the military safety, the aspect that they have right now on this, which is obviously huge because here you see an event that's totally put on by the military.
The Army in particular has over 100,000 riders in the Army alone, counting our civilians, our active Guard and Reserve military forces. So there's a lot more people out there riding, and so consequently the potential for fatalities and accidents goes up as well. But it was that trend is what drove us to try to do more in terms of what we're trying to do out here today.
We're here as doing our part. We're going to do a few demonstrations. We're doing some suspension seminars and some other types of briefings throughout the day to get people more involved in this, get the riders more involved in taking their sport bikes out to tracks.
In a controlled environment, you're able to concentrate more on what it is that you're doing. You're not worried about distractions, cars, leaves, oil, gravel, things that you encounter when riding a motorcycle. And you don't have those things at a racetrack. You've got corner workers, you've got ambulance crews in case of a mishap. If you tip over and injure your pinky, there's someone there to clean you up. So you go through your basic training, you go through your weapons training, you go through first aid. You have all these types of training, things that you didn't know when you started, but you learn these things and you're trained in them properly so you can do them the right way. Well, what we're telling you is motorcycles are the same thing. If you're gonna ride a motorcycle, you need to have the proper training. It's just like driving a car. You don't just get in a car and start driving. Somebody kind of shows you the ropes. They teach you, they tell you, hey, you gotta put your foot on the brake before you turn the ignition on. It's simple things, but until you know them, until they become second nature, sometimes it's a little bit hard to grasp that. So
we've also worked with folks like the Motorcycle Safety Foundation, others, to develop more comprehensive training programs at each of our installations. And this is being done through all the military services so that when you come in, you get certified through the Motorcycle Safety Foundation, basic course, and then there are other courses for advanced riding and for sport bikes that we want people to go through as well, above and beyond just the normal requirements for getting certified and getting licensed to operate a motorcycle. So there's a continuous process of learning. The other important thing is to gain experience. And so we're really encouraging motorcycle mentorship through participation in local motorcycle clubs all around the country. So we want our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard personnel to get involved in these local motorcycle clubs, to get linked up with experienced riders, to get out there on the road with them and learn from them as they gain more experience over time. So there's a multifaceted approach that we're trying to take in terms of learning, awareness, but also the experience factor is big as far as this activity is concerned. I think the other thing that this has evolved to over time has been a leadership opportunity for our senior leaders throughout the military. And for instance, if we look back over here at the Pentagon, we've got colonels and captains and majors and generals and other senior officers and NCOs that are over there serving. Well, guess what? 1 or 2 years from now, they're going to be back out in the field. They're going to be commanding regiments and battalions. They're going to be commanding aircraft carriers. They're going to be commanding all sorts of organizations with a lot of people, a lot of young people. And so the other thing that we see this event as an opportunity to do is to get them out of the building, get them out from behind their desk, out of their cubicle, out here to get that appreciation for the challenges and the risks that these young people are associated with in motorcycle riding. Whether they're a rider or not, it doesn't matter. They're still going to be a leader of 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 soldiers, sailors or Marines, and we want them to have that awareness and that understanding of what right looks like and how they can incorporate these sorts of programs into their program for their organization. So that's the other real important thing that this has evolved to over time, is that leader awareness and training as well.